Thank you. Please do have your seats. Good morning. Kindly turn to your right and turn to your left and say to your neighbor, "You're welcome." And rhetorically, please let's ask this question: who are you? Great. Today, we'll look at one gray area of humanity's existence that we wish no one would discuss it, but we can't afford to keep quiet because a lot is going on in the world today. What am I speaking of? It's been dissected at the academic level, at the educational level, at the, what do I call it, as a professional level. Of importance is how this knowledge is transmitted to the generality of the people, because people are going through a lot, and at the academic level we are dissecting it, doing research, becoming professors, while the people that need the truth are dying, are going down the drain. So let us bring it out to public domain. We may know it, and to some of us, it might just be new, but I will be surprised if it's new to a lot of us. What are we speaking of? The screen, please. Great. The search for identity. Again, the search for identity. Such questions as, who am I? What am I? What do I stand for? Why am I here? Where am I going? Where did I come from? Who truly am I? Why do humans exist? As trivial as those questions are, if we can answer them, we will have achieved a lot. You may have pondered over those questions, or you may not have bothered to ponder over those questions. But it's important we always take time out to reason, to introspect, to evolve. As we go on with the series, we've been here over and over again, learning a thing, learning two. What do we take home today? The search for identity. Before we go on, it is important we understand what identity is. The Merriam-Webster's dictionary simply defines identity as the distinguishing character or personality of an individual. It comes up with as synonym, individuality. The Cambridge Dictionary defines it as the fact of being or feeling that you are a particular type of person. An organization. It sees it as the qualities that make a person, that makes an organization. Online dictionary.com platform sees identity as the state or fact of remaining the same, one or ones, as under varying aspects or conditions. The condition of being oneself or itself and not another. I love this expression. The condition of being oneself or itself and not another. And in this world of mathematics, we deal a lot with analysis. In mathematics, identity is synonymous with unity. And when we define unity, we quickly would consider digit 1. Going out from mathematics and superposing this unity into the purview of grammar. When you speak of unity, you talk of harmony. Did you get that? Did you get the link now? When you speak of unity, in the big picture of the general knowledge, we speak of harmony. So by transitivity, we would look at identity as your unity. Your identity is your oneness, your unity. the harmony of the totality of your being, of your qualities, of what you stand for, of your perspective, of your views, of your paradigm, of your actions and inactions. Unity. What you do in the dark, what you do in the open. Unity. Oneness. You can say, I have varying identities, I have different identities. Well, I am sorry. You may have succeeded with that expression all those years, but calm down. Tell yourself the truth. How far has that taken you? You really want to be frank to yourself and with yourself. The old expression of I have different lives, I'm a cat with different hearts, I do this, but I'm sorry. It's only an expression of you not knowing who you are. Unity is one. Everything you do in the secret, in the open, makes you. You can't run away from it. You can hide from it. It's your identity. And maybe I should say this today. It may sound philosophical. At the nucleus of your identity, of who you are, of your unity, of the harmony, of the totality of your being, of your existence, is your soul. That is why the soul embodies you. And so, if all things die, if all things eventually decay, there is one part that never decays, the soul. And that soul holds the memory of your existence because it is the nucleus of your identity. At this point, let us come down to understanding this reality. Why is it important we understand the reality of identity and the evolving traumatic reality of the identity crisis? And how this is all intertwined with the search for identity. If we don't get this right, the world is spiraling out of control. If you go through the statistics, please, can we have it on screen? There you have it. What was the divorce rate 50 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago? And look at the moment, look at the statistics, look at the increase. Let us match this with the suicide rate. 60, 50 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 10 years ago. Today, look at the statistics. Oh, how about this? Depression. All young people, old people, all ages now, even as low as teenagers, sub-teenagers. I'm amazed hearing that people like 7, 8, 9 sliding into depression. Can we have the statistics, please? There you have it. Look at it. 60, 50, 40, 30 years, 20 years, 10, and other moments. And do we see those things as just coincidence? Everything increasing? Look at these variables, that there is a positive correlation. This increases, this increases, this increases. And we don't think there is a driving force? Well, I want to tell you today that there is a driving force. And the driving force is what you would call the identity crisis, which stems from the search for identity. People are searching, who am I? What do I stand for? I am lost in the ocean of everything going around the world today, screaming without you hearing, help me, help me, help me. I am going astray. And we don't understand. When they come on social media, they do all sorts of things. They say all sorts of things. They post all sorts of things that need be secret. But now it's in the open. And we don't understand what they're doing. They are lost. They are screaming for help. And we don't understand it, that these people are searching for identity, searching and seeking validation, and we don't understand. Someone wakes up and all they think of is, I need 1 million likes today. I need 50 likes. I need 100 likes. And they go online, they post every now and then. They're looking up their phones, looking up their platforms. I'm not going to call names, okay, of these platforms. And they're looking up, how many likes do I have? How many this do I have? How many comments do I have? Wow. A lot of people have been hooked to this dopamine reality because of the search for identity. And when they feel they don't get validated, they resort to things. And then you hear, but just yesterday she posted, just yesterday I was with her, I was with him, and what happened? She's dead, she's committed suicide. Oh, the police are investigating it. Well, did you not see it in those posts? Did you not see it? Or have we become dumb that we all are searching for validation? We all are seeking validation. We all are searching for who we are that we don't even realize. We can't see through each other anymore. We all need validation. Oh, why will I like you? You've not liked my post. Why will I like your post? Wow, amazing. Quite amazing. The search for identity. Speaking of the search for identity and how it evolves or how it triggers the identity crisis as it's coined by psychologists, very famous for what they did, the American German psychologists Johann and Erik Erikson, when they carried out their research and coined the expression identity crisis. Okay, they created the Erikson stages of psychosocial development, as you may know, or maybe you're hearing it today. What do they say the identity crisis is? Now, in psychology, identity crisis is a stage theory of identity development, which involves the resolution of a conflict over 8 stages of life. And these stages of life as contained in the Erikson stages of psychosocial development. The identity crisis is a point of uncertainty and confusion in which a person's sense of identity becomes insecure. Did you get that? A person's sense of identity becomes insecure, largely due to changes in their expected role in the society. In other words, the society triggers this. What the society expects of you, of the individuals. What do they define as success? How the society defines achievement. How the society defines a lucrative career, a fulfilled life. And so we want to conform to the definition of the people. People who themselves are searching for who they are, but the same people are the ones trying to define you. Take a break and think. These people I want to impress, those people who are defining me and for whom I really want to prove a point, have they defined themselves? The society, the society, the society, the neighbors, the people in your street, the people in that avenue, the people in that close, the people next to you. You're trying to conform to their definition of success, of achievements, of a great life. They themselves are searching, but you don't know, and so you fall into the trap. Let us come back. Who defines you? Who defines your role? Why should you go down trying to please people, trying to be like what they want you to be? And in the process, you lost your identity. I will tell you what this does. People coming in and defining you is like bringing different kinds of fire to eat up the solid. It melts, and when it tries to solidify again, this flame comes, it melts again, trying to take to the shape. You know, when it becomes a liquid, it takes to the shape of the container at that time. And so our lives have become like fluids, trying to solidify, trying to melt, solidify, melt. And what eats up that changes. What causes it? The people become the flame in your life. Oh, that brings us to this reality when it is said that the tongue is like a fire. The tongue. Because a whole lot of this comes from people speaking, people writing, people telling you things, using the tongue to eat up your life, to melt you. And then when you try to regain consciousness, to solidify, at what time you've changed a bit because you've learned a thing or two, good or bad, from what they've said, and then you try to conform your life to a solid, another flame comes, another tongue comes, oh, and you keep melting. Play the point. If you can see the picture of the life of such a person, that's exactly how a lot of us have been today. Several dates, these dates being the people in the society, not necessarily sexual dates, but the people in the society forming our lives, in our places of work, in our places of worship, in our neighborhoods, people all around us, in the commitment we make, the people we meet in those places. They've shaped our lives. And so we don't have identity of our own. Can we come back and think? And so try never to go so much academic, but come to reality. Speaking of academics, it is said that the identity status has four distinct identities, for which psychologists classified them as the foreclosure, the achievement, the diffusion, and the moratorium. But I am not interested in this, because these are identities coined by people. Forget about this. Do you have a foreclosure identity? Do you have an achievement identity? Do you have a diffusion identity? Do you have a moratorium identity? That's not important. You just ask yourself, who am I? What do I stand for? The search for identity is what you must take personal. It's what you must look deep into yourself. It's what you must tell yourself the truth and come up with the very truth. Do not get defined by people. At this point, when you're trying to do the search, when you're coming up with it, please, I would advise you, shut your door. Sit next to yourself. No voices around you. No gadgets, no noise, nothing. And look deep into the mirror of your life and define who you are. You are too great, you are too precious to go down the drain. You are too great, you are too precious to go down the suicide lane, even the suicide thought. Oh, speaking of suicide thoughts, do you know that yours truly, I've had that thought some time ago? But thank God I evolved from where I saw crystal clear. What propels that? So when I speak to you today, I speak to you from a point of I've been there. Oh, there's great music by this great fellow, Beyonce. I was there. You remember the song? Oh yeah, great. I do a lot of that too. You know, it's nice listening to such beautiful music. I was there. So I understand when I speak to you today about identity, knowing who you are, finding the reality of your life. This is who I am. Nobody will help you discover this if you don't discover it yourself. Go deep into yourself, your very life. Where am I today? What is going on with me? What is going on with my life? Why am I doing what I am doing? Why am I going down this way? Why am I joining this group? Why am I having this friend? What truly is propelling me? The search for identity. Am I seeking validation? Why don't I validate myself? In this world, in this universe, it's so large that you have just existed to walk through it, build houses, give birth to children, take care of a family, and you go. No, that is not it. Life is beyond that. The universe is a big place that each and every one of us has a unique role to play. That unique role, that unity, that harmony of a role defines your identity in this vast, endless ocean called the universe. You being able to find that and achieve that, you will have lived a fulfilled life. At that point, when you see, I'm taking my last breath, you would say, I did it. I came, I saw, I conquered. Yes, I did it. And when you face judgment, you're like, I came, I saw, I conquered, and I'm glad. For which you would be welcome dearly. The search for identity is a search we must not run away from. It's a search we must confront. It's a search we must tell ourselves the truth. Take a break from the social media. Take a break from the phone calls, from the text messages, from the WhatsApp. Take a break from the dope. What you take to trigger your esteem, take to trigger yourself. Please, if you can, keep the alcoholism, keep the cigarettes, keep the drugs, keep everything, and be very clear for a moment. Clear your head. Clear your head as much as possible. Keep those things away from you. It might shake you. The trigger is there. The neural pathway, the neural hijack is there. Go back, go back, go back. The dopamine rush is there. Go do it and say no. If you can win that battle at this instant when it pushes you, and then you can take a break, go out of that and look at it yourself, then you will have won a great battle. The search for identity. The search for identity is important. If you must not keep going down the drain of divorce, if you must not keep going down the drain of depression, if you must not keep going down the drain and become one more victim of suicide, if you must not keep going down the drain and doing all sorts of antisocial vices, the search for identity is important. I understand. Life may have battered us. Life may have battered you. But nothing and no one should define you. Nothing and no one should define you. You define yourself. You go back in, you evolve nicely, and you come out and say, I came, I saw, I conquered. And say, this is who I am. I know who I am. This is who I am. No time is too early. No time is too late. You can see, you can learn from it, you can come out of it, and you can say, I came, I saw, I conquered. The world truly awaits you. We await you. I await you. I await to celebrate you. The world awaits you. They judge you today, but the truth is they await your evolution. Evolve, evolve, evolve. Don't conform to them. When you evolve and they see the uniqueness you've become, they will celebrate you. The people you seek to please today are the same people that will come, kneel before you and say, we want to learn from you. And then you realize we all have been in the search together. Thank you.